Page 36. The truth was at last beginning to dawn on the Duke. He put a cherry into his mouth and chewed it slowly. Then he spat out the stone. "I like the way you picked these cherries for me," he said. "Could you also pick my apples in the autumn?" We could, of course we could," we all shouted. "And who are you?" the Duke said, pointing his stick at me. "He's our business manager," the Giraffe said. "His name is Billy. We go nowhere without him." Very well, the Duke muttered. "Come along with me and let's see if you're any good at cleaning windows." I climbed out of the pelican's back, and the kindly old Duke took me by the hand as we all walked toward the house. When we got there, the Duke said, "What happens next?" "It's all very simple, Your Grace," the Giraffe replied. "I am the ladder, the Pelly is the bucket, and the monkey is the cleaner. Watch us go." With that, the famous window cleaning gang sprang into action. The monkey jumped down from the giraffe's back and turned on the garden tap. The pelican held the great beak under the tap until it was full of water. Then, with a wonderful springing leap, the monkey leaped up once again onto the giraffe's back. From there he scrambled, as easy as he were climbing a tree, up the long neck of the giraffe until he stood balancing on the very top of her head. The pelican remained standing on the ground beside us, looking up at the giraffe. "We'll do the top floor first," the giraffe shouted down. "Bring the water up, please," the Duke called out. "Don't worry about the two top floors. You can't reach them anyway." "Who says we can't reach them?" the giraffe called back. "I do," the Duke said firmly. "And I'm not having any of you risking your silly necks around here." If you wish to be friends with a giraffe, never say anything bad about its neck. Its neck is its proudest possession. "What is wrong with my neck?" snapped the giraffe. "Don't argue with me, you foolish creature," cried the Duke. "If you can't reach it, you can't reach it, and that's the end of it. Now get on with your work." "Your Grace," the giraffe said, giving the Duke a small superior smile, "there are no windows in the world I cannot reach with this magical neck of mine." The monkey, who was dancing about most dangerously on top of the giraffe's head, cried out, "Show him, Giraffe! Go on and show him what you can do with your magical neck." The next moment the giraffe's neck, which heaven knows was long enough already, began to grow longer and longer and longer and longer and higher and higher and higher until at last the giraffe's head with the monkey on top of it was level with the window of the top floor. The giraffe looked down from the great height and said to the Duke, "How's that?" The Duke was speechless. So was I. It was the most magical thing I had ever seen, more magical even than the pelican's patented beak. Up above us, the giraffe was beginning to sing a little song, but it sang so softly I could hardly catch the words. I think it went something like this. "My neck can stretch terribly high, much higher than eagle can fly. If I venture too slow, just how high it would go, you'd lose sight of my head in the sky." The pelican, with his huge beak full of water, flew up and perched on one of the top floor window sills near the monkey, and now the great window cleaning business really began. The speed with which the team worked was astonishing. As soon as one window was done, the giraffe moved the monkey over to the next one, and the pelican followed. When all the fourth floor window on that side of the window were finished, the giraffe simply drew in her magical neck until the monkey was leveled with the third floor window, and off they went again. Amazing! Cried the Duke. Astonishing! Remarkable! Incredible! I haven't seen out of any of my window for 40 years. Now I shall be able to sit indoors and enjoy the view. Suddenly all three of the window cleaners stopped dead in their tracks. They seemed to freeze against the wall of the house. None of them moved. What's happening to them? The Duke asked me. What's going wrong? What's gone wrong? I don't know, I answered. Then the giraffe, with the monkey on her head, tiptoed very gingerly away from the house and came toward us. The pelican flew with them, and the giraffe came up very close to the Duke and whispered, Your Grace, there is a man in one of the bedrooms on the third floor. He is opening all the drawers and taking things out. He's got a pistol. The Duke jumped about a foot in the air. Which room? He snapped. Show me at once. It's the top one on the third floor where the window is wide open, the giraffe whispered. By God, cried the Duke, that's the Duchess' bedroom. He's after her jewels. Call the police. Summon the army. Bring the cannon. Charge with the light brigade. But even as he spoke, the pelican was flying up into the air. As he flew, he turned himself upside down and tipped the window cleaning water out of his beak. Then I saw the top half of that marvelous patented beak sliding out of his head, ready for action. What's that crazy bird up to? Cried the Duke. Wait and see, shouted the monkey. Hold your breath, old man. Hold your nose, hold your horses, and watch the pelly go. Page 46. Like a bullet, the pelican flew in through the open window, and 5 seconds later out he came again with his great orange beak firmly closed. He landed on the lawn beside the Duke. A tremendous banging noise was coming from inside the pelican's beak. It sounded as though someone was using a sledgehammer against it from the inside. He's got him! Cried the monkey. Pelly's got burglar in his beak! Well done, sir, shouted the Duke. Hopping about with excitement, suddenly he pulled the handle of his walking stick upwards, and out of the hollow inside of the stick itself he drew a long, thin, sharp, shining sword. I'll run him through, he shouted, flourishing the sword like a fencer. Open up, pelican! Let me get at him! I'll run the bounder through before he knows what's happened to him. I'll spike him like a pat of butter. I'll feed his geezer to my foxhounds. But the pelican did not open his beak. He kept it firmly closed and shook his head at the Duke. The giraffe shouted, The burglar is armed with a pistol, your grace. If Pelly lets him out now, he'll shoot us all. He can be armed with a machine gun for all I care, bellowed the Duke, his massive mustache bristling like brushwood. I'll handle the blighter. Open up, sir, open up! Suddenly, there was an ear-splitting bang, and the pelican leaped 20 feet into the air. So did the Duke. Watch out! The Duke shouted, taking 10 rapid paces backward. He is trying to shoot his way out! And pointing his sword at the pelican, he bellowed, Keep that beak close, sir! Don't you dare let him out! He'll murder us all! Shake him up, Pelly! Cried the giraffe. Rattle his bones! Teach him not to do it again! The pelican shook his head so fast from side to side that the beak became a blur, and the man inside must have felt he was being scrambled like eggs. Well done, Pelly! Cried the giraffe. You're doing a great job! Keep on shaking him so he doesn't fire that pistol again! At this point, a lady with an enormous chest and flaming orange hair came flying out of the house screaming,
My jewels! Somebody stole my jewels! My diamond tiara, my diamond necklace, my diamond bracelets, my diamond earrings, my diamond rings. They've had a lot. My rooms have been ransacked.
And then this massive female who 55 years ago had been a world-famous opera singer suddenly burst into song.
My diamonds are over the ocean. My diamonds are over the sea. My diamonds were pinched from my bedroom. Oh, bring back my diamonds to me.
We were so bowled over by the power of the lady's lung that all of us, excepting the pelican, who had to keep his beak closed, joined in the chorus.
Bring back, oh bring back my diamonds to me, to me. Bring back, oh bring back my diamonds to me.
Come yourself, Henrietta, said the Duke. He pointed to the pelican and said, This clever bird, this brilliant burglar catching creature has saved the day. The bounder's in the beak. The Duchess stared at the pelican. The pelican stared back at the Duchess and gave her a wink.
If he's in there, cried the Duchess, why don't you let him out? Then you can run him through with that famous sword of yours. I want my diamonds. Open your beak, bird.
No, no, shouted the Duke. He's got a pistol. He'll murder us all. Someone must have called the police because suddenly no less than 4 squad cars came racing towards us with their sirens screaming. Within seconds, we were surrounded by 6 policemen, and the Duke was shouting to them, The villains you are after is inside the beak of that bird. Stand by, you collar him. And to the pelican he said, Get ready to open up. Are you ready? Steady, go! Open her up. The pelican opened his gigantic beak, and immediately the policeman pounced upon the burglar who was crouching inside. They snatched his pistol away from him and dragged him out and put handcuffs on his wrists. Great Scott! Shouted the chief of police. It's the Cobra himself. The who? The what? Everyone asked. Who's the Cobra? The Cobra is the cleverest and the most dangerous cat burglar in the world, said the chief of police. He must have climbed up the drain pipe. The Cobra can climb up everything.
My diamonds! Screamed the Duchess. I want my diamonds! Where are my diamonds?
Here they are, cried the chief of police, fishing great handfuls of jewelry from the burglar's pockets. The Duchess was so overcome with relief that she fell into the ground in a faint. When the police had taken away the fearsome burglar known as the Cobra, and the fainting Duchess had been carried into the house by her servants, the old Duke stood on the lawn with the giraffe, the pelican, the monkey, and me.
Look! cried the monkey. That rotten burglar's bullet has made a hole in poor Pelly's beak.
That's done it, said the pelican.
Now it won't be any use of holding water when we clean the windows.